What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And in this video we will talk about Renato Sanches, because Lille want to sell the brilliant midfielder, because Renato Sanches only has 12 months left on his contract, and a French news outlet is reporting that Lille are hoping to avoid losing the Portugal international for nothing next summer. So what do you think about this news? Do you want Liverpool to sign Renato Sanches, or who would be your preferred transfer target? And Neil Jones, a journalist with very close ties to Liverpool, already reported that we are monitoring Renato Sanches. Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of him and he is on Jurgen Klopp's transfer list. And he also said today that Liverpool have to buy an attacker and a midfielder if they want to compete at the highest level next season and beyond. So let me know what do you think about this in the comments below. And if you enjoy these transfer news updates, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. So Renato Sanches' contract expires in 1 year, and there has been virtually no reports of him in negotiations with Lille on a new contract. And the reputable goal journalist Neil Jones has listed Renato Sanches as one of the players, one of the midfielders that Liverpool are keen on. And I want to share this report with you guys that Barcelona, Tottenham and Liverpool are monitoring the situation of Renato Sanches. And Renato Sanches, when he was asked about his future, he said, "Regarding my future, these are only your conclusions that you have been linking me to other clubs. I will not comment on the rumors that concern me." But behind the scenes, Lille would have taken a big decision in this Renato Sanches situation. According to information from Mohamed Toubaketer, Olivier Letang would like to sell Renato Sanches during this summer transfer window. Even though Lille will play in the Champions League next season, they won the French league quite unexpectedly last season ahead of PSG. And Renato Sanches is one player that Lille want to sell because they have still big financial problems. Ikone is another player that FC Barcelona are looking at, and also Ikone is another player that is on the transfer list of many clubs. And at the moment Barcelona are not in a financial position to sign Renato Sanches, because they first have to sell quite a lot of players. They couldn't even register Agüero, Depay and Eric Garcia, the 3 new players that they have already signed as a free agents, because they still have to free up some funds to have enough money so they don't fall foul of the La Liga rules. And Renato Sanches, according to Transfermarkt, is valued at around 27 million pounds. I think for 30 or 35 million this could be a very sensible deal. Renato Sanches is still only 23 years old, and he really matured and grew into a fantastic midfielder last season with Lille. Yes, he had some bad spells in England with Swansea City and with Bayern Munich in Germany, but sometimes you, as a young player, you have to find your way, you have to find your footing. And also probably because he wasn't mature enough, he wasn't strong enough, he didn't have the game intelligence when he was 20-21. He didn't show enough potential at Swansea City and also at Bayern Munich. But now at Lille he looks a much more mature player. I watched him very closely with Lille and also with Portugal in the Euros. I actually saw Renato Sanches live because I went to the Hungary-Portugal game, as you know, here in Budapest where I live. So Renato Sanches looked really promising. He looks like a proper unit, a proper player, a player who would be, I think, almost the perfect replacement for Wijnaldum, because they are very similar players in terms of their skill set, their movement, their attributes. They can do very similar things. And Sanches is very famous for his versatility in midfield, being comfortable in defensive, attacking, central and wide roles. His attributes include immense physical strength, passing ability and being composed in possession. And he's also a very press resistant player, meaning that when opposition players press him, he can get out of the press and bump forward and distribute the ball. And I think also his goal scoring is another attribute that he could maybe improve on even more. He scored 5 goals in 59 games for Lille, which means that he's scoring almost 1 goal every 10 games, which is not a great goal record, but he's mostly a box-to-box midfielder. Sanches compared his own style to that of another Dutchman of Edgar Davids, Clarence Seedorf, even though some people likened Renato Sanches to Edgar Davids. And during the last Euros, when Portugal won the competition, former Benfica and Netherlands player Pierre van Hooijdonk also drew comparison with Seedorf, saying that Renato Sanches, with the way that he plays, it's almost the same, and the intensity is almost the same as Clarence Seedorf. And Clarence Seedorf was an absolutely brilliant midfielder. He played for AC Milan mainly, and also for other clubs, and for the Netherlands. I watched him play, and I was a huge fan of Clarence Seedorf. I think he was a fantastic player, and if Renato Sanches turns out to be anywhere near as good as Clarence Seedorf, then we could be in for an absolute steal of a transfer. If Liverpool could get this deal done for 35 million pounds, I think that would be absolutely fantastic, and I think Liverpool should go for it. We already sold players who are in total worth around 30 million pounds, so this would fund the Renato Sanches transfer pretty much. And also Liverpool fullback Yasser Larouci, who has been out on loan last season, has officially signed a 5-year contract with French club Troyes. The French club took to social media, to Twitter, to announce the transfer, revealing that the 20-year-old left-back has signed a 5-year contract. It's a positive step for the talented Algerian player who departed Liverpool earlier this summer at the end of his contract. I heard somewhere that we wanted to extend his contract, but in the end Liverpool decided not to. And even though Larouci is from Algeria, he joined Liverpool from the youth ranks of Le Havre, another French club, so it's obvious that he has roots in France, and he only made 2 senior appearances in the FA Cup in the 2019-20 season. Following the rise of fellow left-back Adam Lewis, who has been fighting for a spot in the senior team with Larouci, Adam Lewis went on loan to Livingston, and maybe Liverpool felt that Adam Lewis has a great prospect, but we still have Tsimikas and Robertson, 2 left backs, so there was just no place and no squad space for Larouci in the Liverpool team. So that's why Liverpool decided to let him go. And also, talking about Kostas Tsimikas, Napoli wanted to take him on loan, but Liverpool have reportedly informed them they cannot sign Tsimikas on loan this summer. That's according to journalist Ciro Venerato, who said that Liverpool have informed Napoli that they are only willing to let Tsimikas go on a permanent deal. I wouldn't understand why we would sell Tsimikas, because he had a very disrupted season with many injuries, COVID and other things. So we should just give Tsimikas another chance this season to prove that he has what it takes to make it. Of course, it's absolutely almost impossible to play ahead of Andy Robertson regularly, but still he could be a valuable backup player, and I think sometimes we need to give a break to Andy Robertson, who has been playing pretty much non-stop all the time for the past 2 years. We hardly ever rest him because Tsimikas was injured a lot of the time last season. So I think Tsimikas looks a little bit sharper and leaner in pre-season. We really should be giving him more playing time so Robertson can have more of a rest, because I don't want Robertson to get a long-term injury. And also it's Virgil van Dijk Appreciation Day, because the first time since last October we will see Virgil van Dijk pull on a Liverpool shirt and play in a friendly tonight against Hertha Berlin, and a Hungarian TV station is broadcasting the game live, so I will watch it here at home, and I'm really really excited about that. I'm always happy to see Liverpool play, but now that Virgil van Dijk is back and he will play a few minutes for against Hertha Berlin for Liverpool, I'm really happy and over the moon. So let me know if you are looking forward to that, if you are happy about that to see Virgil van Dijk again in the Liverpool shirt. It has been too long, man. Last October was like almost a full year ago, so that is absolutely crazy that Virgil van Dijk hasn't played since then for Liverpool. And I'm also very excited to see Kyle Gordon again, who scored a goal which was ultimately disallowed for offside in Liverpool's previous friendly against Mainz, but he looks like a proper player. He looks like a very skillful winger with a very smooth first touch, excellent balance, and also his academy director, who used to manage him at Derby County, said this about Kyle Gordon: "Our loss is definitely Liverpool's gain. Kyle is a special talent, and it's great to see that he is already doing well, making an impression. Everyone here is buzzing for him. There's Callan, who plays at League 2 side, Maxwell, and there's Keldon, who left us at under 16s and now plays non-league. After then there's Kyle, and finally Chase, who is with our under 14s. It's a footballing family for sure at Derby County." And we also saw Gordon's development close up at Derby, and he's well acquainted with the family, having also worked with each of his 3 brothers. Those are the 3 players that I mentioned previously. And Kyle Gordon is of course the talent that is emerging the quickest, and he said he deserved it. Wayne Rooney said about Kyle Gordon: "I brought him up to train for a week to see how he reacted, and he was one of the best trainers. He's been training at the same level, if not to a better level, than a lot of the other players." And a month later, Kyle Gordon signed for Liverpool. The youth academy manager said, "We were all devastated when he told us he was leaving, because not only is he a great kid, but he's a joy to watch as well. He excites you as a player, and those are the kind of people you want to be around as a coach. The boy can play. He certainly won't be in awe of other players because of his ability. He has that confidence that he feels he should be mixing with the best. He's not shy or nervous. He embraces that challenge. Even the fact that he was willing to make that move to Liverpool when he was still at school tells you something about him. He knows where he wants to get to. He wants to get there quickly. In terms of attacking force, Kyle Gordon has got everything really. He has got great balance, awareness, great touch. Left footers always seem to be blessed with a wand, and he's certainly got that. He's very quiet off the pitch, but on it he comes alive. He just loves playing football, and when you see him play, it looks easy. He makes it look easy. You can't coach some of the things he has." And also the transfer guru Fabrizio Romano, you know him, he has a lot of information regarding transfers. He once again talked about Liverpool's transfer policy, and he said Liverpool's strategy this summer, as I've said many times, is selling players first. Now let's see what happens with Shaqiri. They have already sold Wilson, Grujic, Avoni, and they are Kamil Grobara, and they are working on selling some players after signing Konate, because let's remind everyone, they signed Konate, who is a top centre back, and immediately after they are thinking about maybe buying a new midfielder, and it's not a priority right now. The priority is attacking players, so they are working on signing an attacking player and then moving on to the potential midfielder as an opportunity. But before everything, they need to sell players. It's key for Liverpool. Let me know what you think about that. And I think there are 2 reasons for that. The obvious reason is money. If we get another 15 million for Shaqiri, that will help us even more to sign the right attacking players. And also another thing, we need to sell Shaqiri or Origi to free up a space in our 25-man squad, which is not a homegrown player space. So we can have a certain amount of foreign players, I think 17 in total. And right now, Liverpool's 25-man squad, the foreign players quota is full. So we need to sell either Shaqiri or Divock Origi to free up one space, so we can sign a foreign player, a foreign attacker, and hopefully Liverpool can sign somebody who is very young, very exciting, and very talented. I would have loved to see Patson Daka or Donjan Malen, but I'm sure that Liverpool can sign another player. Ismail Assar is a player that we have been linked with many times at Liverpool, and he's a player that I think Liverpool is a big fan of. We almost signed him before Diogo Jota, but Watford wanted 40 million for Ismail Assar, and we said, nah, that's too much. And in the end, we signed Jota, who was already a Portugal international and an even better player than Ismail Assar was at the time. But now that Ismail Assar had a season under his belt in the Championship, scoring something like 14 goals in total, I think it would be a sensible transfer if we could get him for 30-35 million. He could be a really decent backup player, and he's also good friends with Sadio Mane, so him fitting in at Liverpool wouldn't be a problem. And Andy Robertson said very interestingly that we've now got Ibrahima Konate as well, who is looking already at home. Long may that continue. Long may we have all these options all over the pitch, because there's nothing worse than injuries, and hopefully we can all have an injury-free season. And of course, after last season, I totally understand why Andy Robertson said that, because last season was an absolute nightmare for Liverpool, getting so many injuries to centre-backs. And Diogo Jota is already looking forward to the new season. He's back in training, and we will see him against Hertha Berlin tonight in Liverpool's pre-season friendly. He said, maybe I have a week off, also I have a 5-month baby, so it's hard at the moment, and it was a different summer, it's hard to get really time off. Then I started doing some running, preparing myself to get here into the team, and I don't feel nothing major in my body. It's my first pre-season with Liverpool, because last year when I arrived, the season was already in the second game. I think it's trying to learn this new way of work, but I'm ready, and it's football at the end of the day. It's like a relaxed environment at Liverpool. Obviously we are here together, we have a lot of free time, we are always here, but we know when we go to the pitches to work hard, and that is the main part of our day. But then we have a lot of free time, we can spend time together, and that is good for the team. At the end of the day, we are living here fit and with our confidence very high. And last year I didn't have that opportunity to spend time chatting with many of my teammates, so building on that this year, obviously you need to rest, but there is time for everything. A good relationship between the players, I think, makes a big difference on the pitch. And Diogo Jota almost became an instant fit into the Liverpool system straight away. And he said, obviously when I came to Liverpool, I wanted to do my best, obviously to start scoring, but sometimes those things don't happen straight away. But I think the style of play at Liverpool suits me, and maybe that was the key factor for my beginning. Sometimes mainly players up front struggle to get that first goal. When you get it straight away, that first obstacle is gone, so you can build on that, and I think that helped me a lot. Fortunately for me, during my career, it's been happening sometimes already, and to score a goal on your debut, and that's what happened with Diogo Jota. And he scored 13 goals last season, even though he missed a big chunk, like almost 3 months of the season. He said, it obviously always comes to your mind, what if I had stayed fit? But I think it's not positive to start thinking about bad things. It happened, it's gone now. Obviously, if you are going to say to me in the beginning, 13 goals, maybe I would agree that it was a great return. But after that beginning, maybe you expect even more goals. It's football, you never know what's going to happen next. Now it's a new season, a new start, I'm ready, and the team will be ready for that as well. And obviously Diogo Jota is looking forward to playing in front of a full Anfield again, and he said, I think crowds being back at games again is a huge difference, makes a huge difference. I remember the first time I came into the tunnel, I don't know how many, maybe 67,000 Hungary fans in Budapest. I was at that game, by the way, so this gives me great joy to hear that Diogo Jota was very impressed with the Hungary fans. I sang my heart out in that game, and Diogo Jota said, I was like, wow, this is it, this is happening, fans are back. And I feel like we missed this in England and in every part of the world. We are getting that back slowly. We saw in the Hungary team the way they run, people backing them was very useful for them, and playing away felt like football is coming back again. So I'm really looking forward to playing at a full Anfield. Hopefully that can happen this season. Of course, when you get good things with a crowd there, it's always more positive. So we will give it a go, of course, like always this season. Last season season wasn't very good for us. We still finished third, but it's not what we wanted. We want to finish first and win the trophies and titles, so we want to go and give a proper fight for the Premier League title, obviously. So come on Liverpool, let's give it a go. Let's try and win the Premier League title and the Champions League this season. And thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day, see you later guys, goodbye.